I've been, know where I'm going. Voices rise up, a beautiful sound. There's more than enough music to go around. Everyone step in line with me. Put your hands up, get on your feet. Oh, 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 oh. This is my circle. This is my tribe. Leaning together, we know we're all on the same side. We are stars in the same sky. Circle of stars in the same big sky. We burning brighter than before. We shining on forevermore. Circle of stars in the same big sky. Love could fill up an ocean. I lift you up, you keep me going. Anything is possible, there's nothing we can't do. Bring out the best in me, I'll give it back to you. This is my circle, this is my tribe. Leaning together, we know we're all on the same side. We are stars in the same sky. Circle of stars in the same big sky. We burning brighter than before. We shining on forevermore. Circle of stars in the same big sky. In line with me, put your hands up, get on your feet. Oh, 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 oh. This is my circle, this is my tribe. Leaning together, we know we're all on the same side. We are stars in the same sky. Circle of stars in the same big sky. We burning brighter than before. We shining on forevermore. Circle of stars in the same big sky. This kind of love could fill up an ocean. I lift you up, you keep me going. Anything is possible, there's nothing we can't do. Bring out the best in me, I'll give it back to you. This is my circle, this is my tribe. Leaning together, we know we're all on the same side. We are stars in the same sky. Circle of stars in the same big sky. We burning brighter than before. We shining on forevermore. Circle of stars in the same big sky.
Good morning, everybody, on this absolutely beautiful day. My name is Andrea Brackfeld, and I'm a member of our Board of Trustees and a volunteer here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am your presider today. Welcome to our Sunday celebration. For those of you on Facebook, we would incredibly gratefully appreciate if you would share this live stream to bring more of us together in the energy of spirit. I will pause for you to do this now. Pause. Wonderful. Our vision is to contribute to a world that works for every single person in the world, everyone. We are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Our work as a community is to illuminate the spirit truth that we all belong to each other. And that calls for us to be inclusive, to celebrate and embrace our unique identities, ability, status, age, ethnicity, gender identity, national origin, physical characteristics, race, religion, and sexual orientation. So, as we open our service this morning, we acknowledge that here in Howard County, Maryland, we live and work on the unceded traditional ancestral lands of the Piscataway tribe of the Algonquin. We honor the Piscataway community, past and present. We honor their elders and all future generations. Now, I invite you to set an intention for this week. Take a deep, full breath and allow yourselves to sink into the feeling of that intention right now as you open to receive Spirit's guidance throughout our time together. We have a saying here, singing or listening to music is like praying twice. So we begin each service with a song. This morning, we are incredibly blessed to have guest musician Amy Steinberg. Amy is the creatrix of an online spiritual community, House of Love and Light, where people gather to nourish, uplift, and inspire each other with spiritual truth teachings rooted in new thought philosophy. Please join me in welcoming Amy Steinberg to Columbia CSL.
Good morning, Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. It's me, Amy Steinberg. I'm so happy to be with you. This first song that I'm going to sing for you is called Letting Go. Surrender is not a white flag, giving up or giving in. Surrender is giving over to the infinite within. Surrender is not a prison, there are no borders where I live. Surrender is a freedom only letting go can give. Oh, 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 seeds of love will grow. I'm letting go, oh, so I can sing my song. I'm letting go, oh, 'cause I gotta let go to hold on. Hey, I said I gotta let go to hold on. Yeah. But check it out. I'm not Pollyanna. I'm in the trenches of the road, and I'm not living blindly. You see, I got my eyes open and I'm letting go. Whoa, whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm letting go. Oh, I put a little rock into my roll. I'm letting go. Oh, the seeds of love will grow. I'm letting go, oh, so I can sing my song. I'm letting go, oh, 'cause I gotta let go to hold on. I'm not a pretender, but I'm a contender to be in surrender today. Don't be a defender of doubt, but remember that you are the light of your way. I'm not a pretender, but I'm a contender to be in surrender today. Don't be a defender of doubt. Oh, let go, I'm letting go. Oh, I put a little soul into my roll. I'm letting go. Oh, seeds of love, they're gonna grow. I'm letting go so I can sing my song. I'm letting go. Oh, 'cause I got to let go to hold on. Let go, hold on, let go, hold on, let go. Hold on, let go, hold on, let go, hold on, let go. Hold on, let go, hold on, let go, hold on, let go. Hold on. Yeah.
Wow, Amy, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for the gift of you. If this is your first time experiencing Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you and thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that whoever you are, or whatever your spiritual path, you are welcome and celebrated here. There are a variety of ways to connect and engage in community. We invite you to continue watching for our announcement roll at the end of service, where you'll find updates on events, classes, etc. Links on all events can be found on our newly redesigned, beautiful, interactive website calendar at columbiacsl.com/events, or you can email us at info@columbiacsl.com for more information. And now let us consciously engage in spiritual practice together. We invite you to settle in, center yourself in this moment, and find that sacred place within where spirit is all there is. We will have a contemplative reading by Mindy Derrick, followed by a guided meditation and affirmative prayer by licensed practitioner Idalia Romero.
Good morning. Stand in the Gap by Louise Talon, licensed practitioner, Science of Mind, April 2023. We begin with a quote from Jan Levanzin. Remain open. There's something bigger than you going on here. Then from Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 521. I shall not doubt nor fear, for my whole being responds to the realization of life within and around me. Talon tells the story of hearing Ian Levanzant speak during a CSL gathering several years ago. After she had finished, she took questions from the audience. One woman asked how she could make friends because she was lonely. Van Zandt and the woman spoke back and forth, and then Van Zandt asked if she could pray. The woman said yes, and Van Zandt prayed. It was not a spiritual mind treatment, but it was her form of affirmative prayer. For me, one phrase stood out. Over and over, Van Zandt said she would stand in the gap, quote, unquote, for this woman, knowing the truth for her because she couldn't know it for herself. I love that phrase because while the truth is we can never be separate from our source, we can feel separate and alone, and we hurt. Spiritual mind treatment, or indeed any form of prayer, can help close the perceived gap. By the time Van Zandt finished her prayer, many in the audience were crying. I had goosebumps, and I knew I was that life that God is. There is power in standing in the gap for someone else, of reminding them that they are the most beloved of God always and in all ways. And there is power in having someone stand in the gap for you. If you've never experienced the power of having someone speak a spiritual mind treatment aloud for you, do it today. It will change your life. Now, please join me in this affirmation. Today, I stand firm in knowing that the one divine source is all there is. I see it wherever I go, and so it is. Namaste.
Namaste. Good morning, beloveds. Yes, it is a glorious morning. So let's just take this time as we become quiet and we feel ourselves letting go. We become still as we hear the whispers of this word. Be still and know. Be still and know. We start by slowly letting in all the beauty around us. The blue sky, sunshine, clouds, the breezes, nature's garden in bloom all around us, the trees and flowers. Let us now begin by giving ourselves permission to be vulnerable as we softly ask ourselves these questions. Who am I? What do I desire for myself and others around me? What do I really know about myself? Let's take a moment now to reflect on these questions as we gently connect with all aspects of ourselves. Our complete wholeness, head to toe. All those things we love about ourselves and all those parts of ourselves we would rather hide. Everything. Yes, the complete essence of who we truly and genuinely are. The vulnerable and authentic you. Oh, the power of being who we are. Let us now know this wholeness as the full container in which we live our most authentic life. Everything. Let us start to loosen our grip a little bit. Open up ourselves to all the possibilities that await us. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Let's embrace it all. And now, as we feel ourselves further letting go, we open our hearts to the knowing that we are the whole beingness of God and Spirit itself. Oh, the joy of it all. Feel the freedom of the letting go, of the letting in. So let's pause for a moment as we let God, let go, and let in the magic of our life experiences. Those experiences of life that continue to teach us in the here and now how to live our fullest life. Now, as we quietly return to this here and now, this moment in time, let us affirm these words. My willingness to be vulnerable opens me up to love, joy, sadness, heartbreak, grief, and all the things in between. All these things are now at this moment creating an expanded space for me to live and grow. And yes, my willingness to be vulnerable. Yes, I open myself up to love, joy, sadness, heartbreak, and all the things in between. Yes, today I am creating an expanded space to live and grow. Let's just pause for a moment, just a slight moment, before we pray. So knowing that there is only one power and one presence, that purposeful essence, that life and power of joy itself, that energy, that circumference that is nowhere. We acknowledge this because we know without a shadow of a doubt that this power, this presence lives inside of each and every one of us. And we embrace it. We let it in every breath we take. We let it out. We let it go as our life experiences show us and know that they are gifts and possibilities in our lives today. And we name and claim right now this service to be all that it can be. For we know that we are here to be reminded of this, to be embraced in the knowing that we are all one and that we are all walking in this journey of light, this complete energy that allows us to take every step in the direction that we want it to go. And today we feel that energy as we allow ourselves to just be, to embrace every word, every action that comes forth to Reverend Rafe, to the music, to the words that have already been spoken, and to the continued connection that we live in the community of the Center for Spiritual Living, Columbia. And we just say yes to it all. Yes. And we just with a heart filled with gratitude and appreciation, we release these words to the law that already has delivered everything perfectly, and we let it be so. And together we just say, and so it is, yay, namaste.
So beautiful, Idalia and Mindy. Thank you for that beautiful time of spiritual practice. In this community, our licensed practitioners and ministers are eager to know the truth with you. Feel free to email your request for prayer or counseling to prayer@columbiacsl.com, and we will hold you and your request in prayer throughout the week. And now, please help me welcome back our wonderful guest artist of the day, Amy Steinberg.
Deep breath. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. And here I stand, yeah. My heart is here to serve, yeah. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go, and I will be, I will be, I will be, and I will go, I will go, I'm letting go.
Thank you, Amy, for sharing your amazing talent with us. Thank you so much. And now it is my utmost pleasure to introduce today's speaker, our senior minister and wonderful spiritual leader, Rafe Ellis. Thank you so much.
Good morning, beloveds. Good morning. Good morning. Um, this month, we are focusing on vulnerability. And I have to laugh because the universe never leaves a stone unturned. And so, in this consciousness of vulnerability, lots of things have been happening that create the opportunity to lean into vulnerability in a whole new way. And this morning is no exception. Um, Many of you know, Deborah and I just got to Maryland in the afternoon, a week ago. And so we thought we would have internet hooked up by now. That didn't happen. So I hustled over to the office this morning to do the live stream from the office, only to find out that for some reason, unbeknownst to any of us at the moment, we have no internet at the office. And thank goodness we have Julia, who lives very close to the office with an incredibly generous heart, who says, come on over. And so that's where I am this morning. And there's lots of vulnerability tied into all of that. There's willingness to let go and let somebody else see, and let go and show up, and let go and be fluid. Um, it's interesting that when we reframe the stuff that we've been taught about words, how quickly our experience of those words change. The quote that I'm working with this morning, and will be throughout the talk, I'll be referencing it, is by Madeline L. Engel. When we were children, we used to think that when we were grown, we would no longer be vulnerable. But to grow up is to accept vulnerability. To be alive is to be vulnerable. So I want to start with that last line. To be alive is to be vulnerable. I listen to K-Love frequently, and on the drive over was listening to K-Love, and one of the things that they were talking about is the human experience of pain, whether it be emotional, mental, physical. And while we oftentimes try to avoid it, try to pray it away, it's actually validation that we're alive in this human form. And we're always alive. Even when we leave the human form, we are still alive because we are eternal beings. The human experience is just that. It's letting us know that we are engaged, that we are alive, that we are deeply enmeshed in this beautiful, magnificent, oftentimes confusing and messy human experience. So that in and of itself is a vulnerability at the human level. I want to remind us every Sunday this month that spiritually, we're never vulnerable. Spiritually, we can never be harmed. And we are in this very human form that is most days, if not every day, very vulnerable. I appreciate her recognition in the quote that we often relate vulnerability to size, to age, to knowledge. And this morning, what I really want to work with are this idea of the individualized vulnerability. The vulnerability, not so much of me with you or you with me, but vulnerability of me with me, of you with you. That level of vulnerability where we are 100% transparent and honest with ourselves. Because really, it doesn't matter what I hide from you. What I hide from you really doesn't change my life much at all. It will change how we relate, but what I hide from myself changes everything. The parts of us that we're unwilling to own, that we're unwilling to embrace, that we're unwilling to celebrate, are based in a fundamental belief in the wrongness of us and in the rightness of something outside of us. And I invite you this morning, when your next trash collection comes through your neighborhood, do some little ritual, something. Write it on a piece of paper, throw it in the trash, but do some physical activity to throw that lie away. That no matter what, you are fundamentally whole. You are fundamentally perfect. That's just truth. Doesn't mean you've always behaved perfectly. You are never your behavior, and neither is anyone else. Behaviors come from what we tell ourselves. And what you tell yourself about yourself, colors everything after that. It just does. And so this morning I want to give you 4 tools this morning to help you really take time and give you some tools for your toolbox for embracing all of you. The first one I want to give you is surrender. And oftentimes we think of surrender as a negative. We think of surrender as quitting. It's not. We think of surrender as some admission of weakness. What if it's not? We think of surrender in the juxtaposition of someone is losing and someone is winning. What if that's inaccurate? I offer you this. Surrender is simply choosing to stop fighting. That's all. It is a simple choice to say, enough is enough. I'm going to stop fighting. And I submit to you that many of us, if not most of us, in those deepest long-term battles that happen within ourselves, we don't even know who or what we're fighting. We're fighting against conditioned thinking. We're fighting against ghosts in the collective consciousness that we've never met, but we've been conditioned to fight against. And so I invite you to consider that surrender is the portal to change, that simply choosing to stop fighting opens the door for an opening. Now, when we get to this opening, right, I'm thinking about, we're in a whole new neighborhood. And one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is there's no peephole in the door. And then I had to laugh. It's like, well, why do you want a peephole? Well, I want a peephole so I can check the small opening before I create a bigger opening. Right? I want to navigate my safety in this human realm as if seeing who's on the other side of the door somehow accurately informs me about their intention. Truth be told, it doesn't. And as a former law enforcement officer, I know that. And yet, my human conditioning, right? It's that thing we're always dancing with, is this collective conditioning somehow convinces me that if I can just see a little bit, then it's safe to open to a little bit more. And the truth of the matter, it's my thoughts that create my level of safety. It's my thoughts about what I see through the tiny opening that create my sense of safety, that empower me to create a bigger opening. And so I invite you to consider, from the perspective of wholeness, that whatever you see from the tiny opening is God. No matter what you tell yourself it is, when you're looking inward, when you're looking through the peephole to you, you're seeing God. And so if you get distracted by a human behavior, when you're doing the intimate, the into me I see, is a beautiful way to define intimacy. Into me I see. And so when you're looking through that peephole into you, I invite you to remember that God is exploring God. And then to allow yourself to kick the door wide open with complete abandon to the inside of you. Here's the thing that we miss over and over again. We fill our heads with all this apprehension about, what am I going to find out about myself if I really look into me? If I open the door wide open and look at everything inside of me, we act as if we're going to find something that we don't already know. Beloved, you have been present for every moment of your life. You have already lived every moment of your life. So, from that perspective, from that reality, it's really quite impossible for you to find a surprise. What is different is the third point, allowing, is that we begin to allow ourselves to tell ourselves the truth. And for many of us, that is a brand new activity, because we are conditioned to be what other people want us to be. We are conditioned to live in a world based on right and wrong, established by a perspective outside of us. And so perhaps the most glorious parts of us have been minimized, even vilified, by a social construct that creates division based on erroneous judgments of generations of well-intended human beings establishing paradigms that simply don't work. Maybe they never did, but for sure, we get to change them anytime we choose. But in order to do that, we have to allow ourselves to identify, to tell ourselves the truth, and then to know the truth of who we are. I was chatting with somebody earlier last week about how it's interesting. And let me just say, I am just as wrapped up in this as anybody, because I am just as subjected to human conditioning as anybody, and how we are a new thought theology. And it seems to be the most challenging thing for us to do is to have a new thought. And when we really understand collective conditioning, it begins to make sense why it's so hard to have a new thought. Because every time we have a new thought, the collective conditioning rushes in to squash it because it's invested in maintaining itself. And it's been there a lot longer than any new thought we're going to have. And so there is a place where we have to know, and know that we know because we know that the new thought we're planting is a divine thought in the very mind of creation. And that newness is exactly what creation is. It's always creating newness. And so when it's uncomfortable because it's new, perhaps that's just a growth spurt. When it's uncomfortable because it's new, perhaps that's just our human unfamiliarity. And perhaps if we really know that we are divine beings, divinely guided by infinite intelligence that knows without doubt, that knows with absolute clarity, that simply knows because it knows, then we begin to empower ourselves to lean into the uncertainty, to lean into challenging, to lean into and run right through that fire of cognitive dissonance in this human realm that often stalls us. To allow ourselves, and we're going to talk about this a lot more next week, to see and be seen, to see God, spirit, love, light, whatever word works for you, but to see the truth of being in every moment, to run into it, to run to it rather than shying away, because we know at the soul level that God is expanding God, that our new thought is evolving our experience of our divinity. And that, beloved, is the whole reason we're here. So if that is vulnerability, if that somehow places me at some level of risk, I greatly accept it. In the finance world, we talk about risk versus reward. And what I can share with you on a very personal level that has really been anchored deeply in me this past week is with great risk comes great reward. Having risked everything I understood to be my life in this human realm, and coming across the country to a new thought, to a new call, what I can share with you and will share with you over and over again is that has been met with a yes that I had no way to imagine. The glorious celebration, the love, and if you're a Facebook follower, you may have already seen this. Something deep within me has been transformed. Something I didn't even know needed to be healed has been healed by the power of love showing up in such beautifully simple ways as Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. And so I invite you to know that you are a part of that. That is God loving God. It is God expressing God. And the way we get there is by surrendering, by choosing to stop fighting everything that's unlike it, by allowing ourselves, by opening to something different, by allowing ourselves to just own what's accurate and then to know the truth and to have a new thought about it, to have a new experience of it. I love you beyond words. Let's take this into prayer. And so I am knowing again, I am recognizing the truth that there is only one infinite, ever-present allness that is simultaneously no thing and everything. It is form, and it is all that is within the space between the form. It is life creating out of itself to experience itself. And so I know that I am that in form, and I know that what is true of me is true of all life. And so every form is this amazing, divine everything, fully infused with all that it is, the power to create, fully present in each and every expression of life. And so I speak my word, claiming and affirming that awareness is front and center, that we each lean with complete abandon based on the faith of the divine, knowing that we are held, knowing that we are never in harm's way spiritually. We lean into and through this idea of human vulnerability to experience the amazing wholeness of our spiritual self. Grateful to know that just as quickly as the word is spoken in mind, formed in mind, and spoken, it is done. And so I celebrate. I celebrate the completeness. I celebrate the divine yes that has already made it so. And so I do the one thing that I can do. I let go. I let go. I let go. And I simply look for the evidence of fulfillment. I invite you to join me to make this prayer your own as we say together, and so it is. Ashe. Aho.
Ashe, Ashe, Aho. Reverend Rafe, we are so glad that you showed up in so many ways. Intimacy, into me I see. Such a beautiful, inspiring message. Join us next week in person at the Hawthorne Center for Rev Rafe's talk, Vulnerability, Seeing and Being Seen. Our musician next week will be Topora Belezikian. And yes, for those who choose, you absolutely can join us via live stream exactly as you're joining us right now. And now, my beautiful friends, it's my pleasure to once again welcome the amazing Amy Steinberg for more music for healing the soul.
I'm celebrating the release of a new CD. It's called Big Bang Breaks, and I wanted to do a song from this CD for you today to close out my time with you. Thank you so much for having me. This is called Ready to Let Go, and I thought it was perfect for the theme today. Hope you enjoy it. Sun shines through my window on an autumn afternoon. Leaves falling down as the wind blows. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm ready to start over, begin again. My heart can't take no more. I can't take no more. I see myself, but don't know her, don't know her. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap, so I could be free, so I could be free. On a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow, because I know I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go. I'm looking to tomorrow, looking ahead, but staying in the day. Be here now, surrendering my sorrow. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap, so I could be free, so I could be free. On a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow, because I know, taking it slow, because I know I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to grow. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap, so I can be free. I'm on a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow, because I know. I'm taking it slow, because I know. I'm taking it slow, because I know I'm ready to let go. Yeah. I'm ready to let go, 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 ready to let go. Thanks again for having me. Happy Sunday.
Oh, yes, Amy, ready to let go. Thank you for that fabulous song. We appreciate your gifts and talents. If you'd like to be blessed by Amy's music on a regular basis, you can purchase her CDs by visiting Amy's website. And you see it on the screen, amysteinberg.net. Okay, we have just received, and now we get to practice the law of circulation by consciously giving back. I invite you to invoke feelings of love and gratitude and abundance, allowing them to fill you and the space around you. Okay. Let's use the power of our word by speaking our prosperity affirmation together. I know that the infinite abundance of this universe is blessing and expanding my offering for the good of all, and so it is. We offer easy ways to donate your offering. You can make a one-time or recurring donation through our website, www.columbiacsl.com. Text your donation to us at 410-498-6175. And we know that as we give, we receive. So we do so in gratitude. That's the law of circulation. Please join me as we bless every gift bestowed upon Columbia CSL. Together, we receive these gifts, knowing that they nurture and support our vision of contributing to a world that works for everyone. And so it is. We appreciate every contribution. Your support ensures that we remain a vital and thriving center for everyone's spiritual nourishment. On behalf of our entire community, thank you for being part of our spiritual experience today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. At the end of the service, remember to stay for our announcement slides so you can keep informed on everything that's coming up. One quick reminder, this Saturday is the Sunshine and Soul Mind / Body Festival from noon till 5 p.m. at 1603 Edmondson Avenue in Catonsville. It is now my utmost pleasure to bring back Rev Rafe to close our service with an affirmation for this beautiful week. Thank you.
So I want to take just a moment to say thank you to everybody this whole little welcoming team showed up, and for all the surprises you left throughout our home. Thank you for the consciousness that connected us spiritually, that brought us here. And thank you just for being the amazing you. So the affirmation for this week, very, very simple. Very simple. Whenever you encounter any internal resistance this week, your affirmation is simply to take a breath and say, I surrender. Have a fabulous week. Namaste.
Have you ever asked yourself? Have you ever really sat down and asked yourself, and what is it that makes my head and my heart collide? And what am I gonna do when it comes down to choosing sides? Have you ever asked yourself? Have you ever really sat down and asked yourself, and what is it that makes my soul catch fire? to the little voice inside your head. Well, when it really comes down to it, you just shouldn't have to think about it. When it really comes down to it, you just go with your heart, 'cause it's easy to see where you're going when you're following the love. Have you ever asked yourself? Have you ever really just sat down and wept, yeah? And wondered that it makes my plans and my dreams collide? And what am I gonna do when it comes down to choosing sides? Have you ever really listened to the little